All right, Amanda. So you and I have had the opportunity to work together and we've been able to be of service to you, and you have experienced a lot of growth in business. I'm wondering if maybe you could kind of share your experience of what it's been like to work with Up My Influence, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Anytime. So
So
what do
go
you want to
ahead.
know? Oh, okay. I was like, what do you want to know specifically? So in 1 year, we have doubled our revenue and doubled our profits. I mean, it's just been insane. Like I blew my revenue and profit goal out of the water. Like I reached it 6 months ago, and then it's just been like exploding since then. And I think a big part of it was because toward the end of last year, when I hired Up My Influence and I brought you guys onto my team, I was very clear where it was like, all right, let's just work on visibility right now.
Hmm.
Right. And it was very clear. I mean, I'd already spent a couple of years working on social media, working on Instagram, working on Facebook ads. So there's like levels to this stuff. Right. And it was already time to incorporate more help with PR because I didn't really have the time to do it by myself anymore, number one, right? And number two, I knew it would be beneficial to finding leads. So now we have leads coming in. I'm actually in the process of finding and onboarding my first salesperson because
Wow.
the demand has gotten so crazy. We've got leads coming from like 20 different places every single day. And I know that a big part of it has been just that, how you guys have helped with Twitter, with like the media placements that I'm getting every month, with the work that we've done together in terms of like, hey, here's how to be more, media friendly. And I mean, literally within 6 months, I was giving you guys more work because I was like, I need more. Like my team and I can't handle this. We're just going to like give it to you.
Yeah.
We don't have the time. Like it's just too much. We can't keep up. And being on podcasts all the time, which you guys have helped with, has also directly led to more money in the bank for us. So it started off as I need more visibility, but I don't have the time to do it anymore. So this is something that needs to get outsourced, and then turned into, whoa, this like totally exploded. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I did decide to invest in getting more of that visibility. And I
Mhm.
decided to go with you in particular because A, I've known you for years, and B, there are a lot of PR companies out there that'll tell you that like, oh, we sent a tweet and that's PR. And I'm like, no, it ain't.
Mm.
you
Mm-mm-mm.
know and just like the library and the wealth of like media training and how this stuff works, and going back to like, this is all about levels, like, okay, cool, that's handled. Now we're starting to get into LinkedIn. So that's like the next thing that we're layering in,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that's how it's been really helpful. Like I said, doubled revenue and profits. On my way to go put down a deposit on an office lease now because I'm in the process of hiring my first full-time assistant because we need it. I need it. The company needs it. And then also in the process, like I said, of onboarding our first salesperson because the demand is way too much for me to handle it the way I've been
That's awesome.
handling it up until now. Yeah.
Well, that's how you scale a business. Can I ask you, I know you also do paid advertising, and what would you say to someone who thinks that, well, paid advertising that's all we need in terms of visibility? What's the difference?
That's not true, right? And number two, it helps. I've got leads coming in, but these people just saw you on a Facebook ad. There's still a level of having to build a relationship, which goes back to like content and authority, which I know your company helps people with. There's still that. And on top of that, like, why wouldn't you want leads coming in from everywhere? I think Grant Cardone talks about this. And that was the other thing, is I found Grant Cardone last year,
Hmm.
right? And one of the things that he talks about is like being everywhere, right? And it's true. Like if no one knows who you are, like you're not going to get very far. Like you don't build empires that way. You don't reach more people that way. You don't change more lives that way.
Yeah.
So he talked about that. And like I said, why would you want leads just coming from one place when you can have leads coming in from 20 places?
I love it. I love
It'll
it.
make your life a lot easier.
Yeah. So, and then just real quick, have you had experience with any other PR professionals?
I've heard horror stories from people who've hired other PR professionals especially like local to where I am. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, you know? Or I remember going to events down here, like meetups, and they're like, oh, we're going to get PR tips. But all they were really looking for was like bloggers for their clients. And I'm like, that's not PR, you know? So I've been to a few events where I'm like, this is not PR, and you're saying it's PR, you know? And again, just hearing horror stories from other business owners in the area. One of my clients is a PR agent. I mean, she is more like hands-on, more traditional, getting people on TV and that kind of stuff, right? And one of the things we've had to overcome, like through our work together, one of the objections she hears all the time, which she needs to learn how to deal with in sales, is how badly so many of her prospects have been burned by PR companies.
Yep. 25 grand gone. You know,
Gone.
That happened to us.
Gone, right? Or I remember talking to a friend and a colleague, and she's been a mentor of mine, and she was like, we're spending like $3 grand a month, and all they did was get us in the Miami Herald. I could have done that. I know the editors at the Miami Herald, right? And then I told her what you were doing for me and for how much, and she's like, that's way more than we're getting, and we're paying more money. Yeah.
So that said, I know that sometimes, making investments in services can be kind of scary. But, I think a big part of your growth, what I've seen, is that you've kind of taken those fears head on. You're like, look, if we're going to grow, we need to invest in growth.
Yeah. That's been a process, right?
Yeah.
Over the years. It doesn't happen overnight. But, now I'm at a stage where I've done it so many times by now that I know the money's just going to show up. And also the idea of, again, Grant Cardone talks about this. I stopped focusing so much on what I was spending and started focusing more on what's coming in on the top line. And one of the things he talks about is that we have so much obsession over how much money is going out when our obsession should be over how much money is coming in. Right? So I don't remember the exact ratio, but he's like, spend like 90% of the time on top line, right? And then you won't be worried about expenses. Because you'll be able to pay for them, and you'll be making higher profits. And that was 6 months ago when I heard that. So I think that's when I was like, I need you guys to do more, right? Because I had just been to a one-day event that he did down here, and I'm like, the man is right. I've never really not made a return on my investment. I know how to go make money if I have to. Now I know how to train people on how to go make money if they have to. He's right. My focus has been in the wrong place for years.
And real quick, explain what you do and what industry you're in.
So I do a lot of brand ambassador work for financial companies. I've worked with Capital One, Better Mortgage, Intuit, Florida Prepaid College. We're both in Florida. Hi, right? So I do brand ambassador, spokesperson work for them. And then in addition to that, I teach other bloggers and small business owners basically the art and the science of branding and monetization. So basically helping them build out the business model behind all the influence they've built.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Amanda, it's a great pleasure in working together with you, and we're honored to be able to help, put your name in lights everywhere. And you certainly, you're easy to work with. We could certainly get a lot of media placements for you. And, and that's the thing too, as you do this, it gets easier and easier and easier. And then you just get, what ends up happening is you just get media that are reaching out directly to you on a regular basis.
I had New York Post reach out to me 2 weeks ago directly.
That's amazing.
Or I remember when I asked you guys to come on to do the Haro inquiries for me, because I just didn't have the time to do it. My team didn't either. Right. There was a month there where you guys, or 6 weeks maybe, where you guys were checking in, being like, hey, is this okay? Is this okay? Does this sound like you? Right. And then after that, they just do it on their own. And I'm getting, I don't even have to check in anymore.
Yeah, a little bit of secret sauce there that we do. I think we worked out it's a pretty good system. So, Amanda, thank you so much. I appreciate you just sharing your honest experience.
Oh, I appreciate you guys so much. And I tell my clients all the time, visibility matters, right? So you better start getting comfortable with having eyeballs on you.
Brilliant. Thank you.